Let's see if I've got this figured out. I'm fairly sure we're live right now, but my other phone is not showing anything, so I'm just going to give it a second before I get in anything to make sure. There we go. I've got something going on, so I think we're good. Welcome, guys. This is another of the Thursday live streams from my house where we're going to cook something interesting using some Walton's products and try to just have a little bit of fun. As per usual, the live stream is not sponsored by Miller Lite, but quite often that is what we're looking at. I'm going to put something in chat real quick. I've got a 15% off coupon for you all. It is house, like my house, 15, and that is 15% off up to $100 value. Ryan Jones says, still haven't gotten the house sold, have you? No, Ryan, I have not. Thank you for bringing up painful topics. That should put me in a drinking mood for sure, as I slowly go broke in this house that I can't afford. But no, in all seriousness, we are about to drop the price again. So I'm hopeful in the next couple of weeks we'll have some movement, because we're going to slash it pretty seriously. So if you're in the Wichita area and you're looking for a nice house, this one's about to be a lot cheaper. But what we're gonna make tonight are smashed tacos. So I've got some ground beef here. I have some Fiesta chicken seasoning, which even though this is beef, I'm still gonna add to it. It's got a really nice taco-y flavor, or what you would assume is associated with the taco flavor. We're then gonna put them on the griddle. We're gonna put a tortilla over them, smash them down. And then I made some guacamole. I've got some of my favorite salsa. I've got some cheese, and we're going to put that all on it. Should be a lot of fun. I got to go turn the griddle on. I just realized I didn't do that. I'll take you with me for that. We can, real quick, say hi to the cutest dog in America, also known as Brutus. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Unfortunately, now I have to wash my hands again. We just had the Ron Shera guys here. For anyone who doesn't know, that is the guys who produce and star in The Flush. It is a hunting show mostly aimed, well, I guess just really aimed at bird hunting. I gotta turn that on. So Travis Frank, he's the host of the show. He was here for the Monday and Tuesday. I know this has gas. I just turned it on before. Oh, please don't do this to me. We might be making smash burgers inside. This will be fun. This first burner won't light. The other ones are, though. All right, let's see what's going on. Come on now. All right, we'll close everything off. This is a phenomenal start to it. Make sure it's all the way open, which it is. There we go. Thank good Lord. All right. We have a nice hot. I've got the Pit Boss griddle going. I've got my guacamole, my favorite Mateo's salsa, and a little bit of cheese, and we're gonna make some delicious smashed tacos. A couple other things are just going on at Walton's. They were here to film an episode of a TV show called Made for the Outdoors. So that hopefully will air sometime the end of this year, the beginning of next year. Like I said, they were here Monday and Tuesday. We were filming all day. So get this reset up. Maybe I shouldn't have taken outside with me. So it should be some really good content. Travis and I made snack sticks together out of a deer he bought or killed. And we also made what is quickly becoming my favorite seasoning. We made the peppery au jus jerky season. So that's one of the new Walton's branded seasonings. and it is absolutely phenomenal. The taste is absolutely perfect. And every time, because I like to do my jerky in a smoker most of the time, every time I open that smoker, they look like just little perfect, tiny little briskets. You just open them and they just look just like it, just about this big. And it is absolutely amazing. We made some, I brought some around all the employees at Walton's this morning, and everybody absolutely loved it. Will that show be starring Allie? She's in it. We have a podcast releasing tomorrow with Allie, myself, and Travis. So that was a lot of fun to shoot. Travis is a great guy. For anyone who doesn't know the Flush or isn't familiar with him, we advertise with him a lot. He's actually our brand ambassador, so we have him do a ton of stuff for us. Just an all-around great guy, great both fishing guide and an absolutely phenomenal upland game hunter. And he also does a lot of his own, or does a lot of deer hunting as well. So, as you hopefully saw, most of the stuff's already outside. I'm just gonna wash my hands first since I did pet the dog. We don't want these burgers tasting like Brutus. But we're gonna mix in a little bit of this Fiesta chicken seasoning, which has, a lot of standard taco seasoning flavors to it. And we're gonna put them on the grill. We'll make them into little balls. We'll put them on the griddle. We'll put little, why can't I even think of regular words right now? We will put flour tortillas over them, thank you. Smash them down. Hopefully it'll cook all nice and even, and then we can curl them up at the end, load them up with whatever we want, and they should be absolutely delicious. I don't know why I can't talk today. I've had this problem all day long. I was fairly exhausted by the time those guys left, and then we also took them out and played 18 holes at the end of the day yesterday. So I am struggling from that. All right. So Fiesta chicken seasoning, this is an Excalibur seasoning. It is fairly potent. So we've got 1 pound of ground meat here. We are not gonna add much. We're just basically gonna coat the top with it, and that little bit, maybe a little bit more, is enough for an entire pound. It does not take much. Then we're just gonna mix that all in, and I'm gonna make about 6 of those little balls that we're gonna smash. So I don't want them to be too much. So I've got a lot of guacamole, cheese, and salsa that I want to add to it as well. For anyone who doesn't know, who says too much beer? No. For anyone who doesn't know, Mateo's salsa, you can buy it pretty much anywhere at this point. It is great. It is my favorite salsa. I refamiliarized myself earlier today with one of my favorite hot sauces. It's called Crybaby Craig's. It's a really small little place out of, I think they're up in Minnesota. So, yeah, they're up in Minnesota somewhere. And we carry them at Walton's. And I put that on some chicken for lunch, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So I'm just going to try and see if I can figure out what 6 is without cheating here. We don't want them like quarter pounds. That's too much, I think. Just a little bit. That one's probably too small, but they'll be close enough. So yeah, we'll have a good amount of content coming out based on that show. We also, there's Jed Conklin was on our podcast a couple of weeks ago. He has a really cool thing coming out that he's doing, field to table, where he takes already established chefs out into the woods, helps them harvest an animal, and then they go and have a cooking experience with it. He did this most recent one with Chad White. We sent them a bunch of equipment for them to use, grinder, stuffer, a couple other things. And I've seen the sizzle reel for this, and it's absolutely phenomenal. On a podcast with him, we said that it would be coming out on August 6, I think, is what we said, but he contacted me today. It's going to be coming out on August 14th, and it's actually coming out through First Light's YouTube channel. For anyone who's not a hunter, First Light's a clothing company in the hunting world. They make really good products, and they seem to be really good guys. I've met them at a bunch of BHA events, a couple other things, and they seem like really solid people. So it's all going to release on their channel. If it's anywhere near as cool as the sizzle reel makes it look, it's going to be phenomenal. A couple other just like little behind the scenes things. We had a new employee start yesterday. She is going to be our social media person. So hopefully our social media will start improving, because the last couple of weeks, like those meat fact a day on Instagram, I've been doing those, like producing them, doing all the extra stuff. And I have no idea what I'm doing on social media. I'm 46 years old. There's no reason for me to be taking care of that. So she's got a really good eye, hopefully, and probably better at engagement than I am as well. So hopefully our social media will see a nice boost from doing that. Ryan says, doesn't Chad White collaborate with Spiceology? Yep. He had the bomb. I think it was the bomb. Chad White's the bomb, right? Yeah. So he's a really well-known name. He's an amazing chef, and it looks like he made some amazing sausages, cooked a bunch of stuff over the campfire. So we're really excited to see it. So we'll be pushing out on our social media channels as well. All right. I'm going to grab that, take you guys outside so you can look at the griddle as I grab everything else. I'll be right back. And there's a nice little view of the house. Once again, anybody in the Wichita area, you're always, no offer will be not considered, at least. All right, let's see here. I'm going to drop this down. Maybe go back a little further. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to go side view. And back out. Now, we are doing one of the things that I have always said, at least internally, is a bad idea. I'm going to be cooking something on a video that I've never made before. So this could go really, really well, or a complete mess. In all honesty, making something like this, there's not a ton to it, right? We're just going to evenly space these out. And start smashing them down. I've got my overly large Broil King spatula here. Try to help us out. We're going to push it both ways. And we might not have spread things out quite enough there. We've got a really nice white smoke on this already, meaning the griddle's nice and hot. And that is our beef tallow that we made out of a beef we all split at Walton's. And it has been absolutely amazing to cook with. I highly, highly recommend making your own beef tallow and cooking with it. I've deep fried a bunch of fish in it, and it's so much better than deep frying in something like peanut and certainly canola oil. You don't feel all heavy and loggy after that. I'm going to burn my hand. That was fun. We're just going to keep these moving around. I'm going to turn the heat way down. Funny, I'm at an angle here, so a lot of my oil is coming down this way. So these are getting more fried than the ones up here. It's not going to take long for any of this to cook, so we'll just let it hit there for a second or two. You need the Louisiana grill spatula. I have that at work. It is a spatula about yay wide. You can push anything with it. You can pick up a brisket with it and flip it over. Those things are no joke. Alright. Since we had raw meat on the one board, we're not going to put raw meat on that one. And just so you guys can see, this is kind of what, I guess you can't really see it. Fiesta chicken is absolutely going to give you a slightly yellowish appearance to any, to anything you cook with it. It's just part of the seasoning. So here is what we're dealing with. We basically just got a smash burger right in the middle of a beautiful taco. And we're going to start loading them up with guacamole. A good amount of guac. I haven't had guacamole in a long time. Good amount of Mateos, some cheese. And these tortillas were probably just a touch. Those are hot. Whoo, those are hot. Start moving them around. Whoa. Fingers. I would like to be able to keep my fingers and not burn them off. Jeez, those were hot. That was probably the closest I've ever come to intentionally saying a bad word on a live stream. I've been tricked into saying bad words on a live stream a few times, but never intentionally. I'm going to go get a plate. I will be right back. Holy moly. No, you're not coming out. No, stay there. All right, let's hope this one, I can actually hold it now. I mean, does that not look fairly delicious? If I was doing it again, I would make sure that the burger was going the whole length of the tortilla, because it is going to have a good amount on the side with very little meat in it. But I will still eat that. Ooh. So, that's that. How's everything been with all you guys? It's actually been up to anything interesting recently? Oh, they're so good. Mateos with Fiesta chicken and some guacamole. That is the stuff. Oh, people are gonna love that. And it's got a nice crispiness to the tortilla around the edges. I don't know if you guys saw, but they started to puff up. They were absolutely awesome. I did use too much beef tallow though. 100%, if I did this again, I would use way less beef tallow. But you're not coming out. I would also will absolutely be making these again. For anyone who joined late, House 15, House 15 is good for a 15% off coupon at waltons.com right now until I think 9 o'clock. So I've been looking at getting grinder stuffer, or my hands are a mess, I'll be right back. Or if you just want some supplies or seasoning. The Jons jerky seasoning should be back in stock in a week or so, I believe. And I'm telling you, once you guys get your hands on this peppery au jus jerky seasoning, it's over. That's going to be our best-selling jerky seasoning. I'm 100% convinced. I've yet to have anyone try it who didn't absolutely love it. And I have a suspicion that it's going to be even better with deer. So it's just Walton's Peppery Au Jus Jerky Seasoning. You'll find it on our website and hopefully be able to order it soon. I feel a little bad talking about it. Like holding red meat in front of a dog and not letting them have a taste. But trust me, this is worth it. Have you, what? Oh, no, restocked my freezer. What Tex is talking about there is a couple months ago, my deep freeze trying to think of a nice way to say this, went to meet its maker. Well, it didn't even really. My GFI tripped, and I lost about probably half of a quarter of a cow, because we split a cow between four of us. I lost the last of my deer. I lost, I don't know, just a ton of food. It was absolutely heartbreaking. And I haven't had the wherewithal yet to start restocking that. But you're really going after my heartstrings today, Tex. Though I don't know why I find that even the littlest bit surprising. Tex, do me a favor. Type in house 15 so that everybody knows what the coupon code is. Now it is, it's good for a value up to $100, meaning if you buy something that's, the max you're going to get off with it is $100. So, but that's $100 off maybe a grinder, if you've been looking at a stuffer, anything like that. Normally, Brutus gets the leftovers, but he's not getting these. I'm saving these. If Allie shows up in the chat. By the way, Allie needs to do one of these soon. She made, and some of you might be sick of me talking about this, but she made what I legitimately think is the best hors d'oeuvre I've ever had. It was basically bruschetta, and she found this hot honey sourdough. She cut that up, and she put Havarti cheese, a thin slice of apple. I can't remember if the ham was prosciutto. I'm pretty sure it was. And something else that I'm forgetting on top of it. But it was incredible. Really, one of, if not the best hors d'oeuvre I've ever had. It's funny you say that. Texture said we need a cooking with Patrick video. We were just looking through old videos, and there was one where we tried to get Patrick to do that. He was up there with me. I think we did the peanut butter and jelly hot dog one together, and then something else. I can't remember what it was. That's just not what he wants to do. He's incredibly talented as a cameraman and video editor, and that's where he wants to focus. Stephen Winscott, hey, nice to see you. It really is. This is quite awesome. Super simple to make. Now, if you look at it, really it is just a patty because it didn't squish out as much as I was hoping. I was hoping to have almost the whole tortilla filled. That didn't quite happen. But Fiesta chicken seasoning on beef was 80-20. I've got some Mateo's salsa, some homemade guacamole. I mean, it's a packet that I cut up the avocados for. And just some cheap, inexpensive Mexican cheese. The combination is phenomenal. Got a little bit of crispiness from the tortilla. You can see around the edges. I use too much beef tallow. I definitely would use less next time. CJ Haynes, try rolling. Is that a different salsa brand? I'm always up for salsa. This is what Mateo's looks like. It's a little bit watery for some people, but that is the type of salsa I like. I'm not a huge fan of a chunky salsa, although it doesn't bother me. Like, chunky, not chunky isn't going to be what I draw the line on. It is going to be more about, you know, what the ingredients are and what the heat level is. That's what I care about. Yeah. Let me know if that is... Pace is your favorite? Yeah. No, it's not. Wasn't Pace the New York City ones? New York City? I'm just going to bring this closer so I can stop leaning over like that. CJ, the meat out next time on the tortilla before going to the grill. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. That is actually a very good idea. So I probably will do that next. But everything I've cooked in beef tallow is at least twice as good as using any other type of oil. I don't care what you're using. Coconut oil doesn't hold up to it. Avocado oil. Beef tallow is the way to go for cooking. It is freaking delicious. So super simple recipe. I made 6 of them in 10, maybe 15 minutes. And we've been on this for 27, and I must have been done 10 minutes now. Cleanup's not that bad. Oh, that went right up my nose. Oh, that sucks. Right in the back of my nasal passage. And the Mateos isn't hot. This is the mild one. This is the medium one. But it's got enough heat to make that uncomfortable. That absolutely sucked. Also, getting everything I needed for this, and literally everything I needed. The beef, the tortillas, the avocados, the guacamole mix, the cheese, $27. So you can feed your entire family, or however big your family is. Unless you have a fat bastard like me who will eat at least 2, probably 3 or 4 of these. You can feed your whole family for $27 and have the cooking portion of it done in 15 minutes. That's hard to beat. Text, Allie and I have a bet. We're going up to Canada on a fishing trip. Whoever catches the bigger fish has to take the other one out to dinner in Wichita to whatever place they want and cover the check. 2 drink minimum, or I would just destroy her on just drinks alone. But I'm very much looking forward to Chester's. I'm going to go to Chester's. I'm going to get the scallops, probably an hors d'oeuvre, and I don't know, 2 Lagavulin neats, unless you have a better suggestion, something that I can hurt my boss's paycheck with more than that. Now, the downside to that is if she wins, my bank account's going to take a hit. But she doesn't drink, so she can't get it that bad. Yeah, okay, so I thought about I've got this weird thing about eating steaks out at restaurants. In fact, I just went out to dinner the other night with Brett and Sandy, and they're both doing a real specific eating thing, like a diet, basically. Even though Sandy absolutely does not need to be on a diet. ridiculous. And they both had just steaks. Well, I had a seafood linguine that was amazing with some salmon tartare as an appetizer. Phenomenal. It's a restaurant called George's. And I always feel like I felt so bad because they'd never been there before. And I invited them while they were on this ridiculous, or not ridiculous, but this diet, very restrictive diet. Then today, not thinking about it again, I had just gotten jerky and I was bringing it around to everyone. I was like, Brett, you got to try some of this. You got to try some of this. And he was just like, I can't do that. And I was forgotten. I felt terrible. A couple other cool things, or one other cool things. In our commercial kitchen right now, we have a industrial washer. So my cleaning time from processing is going to be cut in like absolute half. Cannot wait to start using this thing. Instead of brushing everything, getting all the meat out, I just go spray, put in this industrial washer, and I move on with my day. You can try out the new KVH Steakhouse. I don't even know about it, but I will try that. Are you familiar with it? Are there KVH's other places and it's worth doing it? Or is it like a Ruth's Chris thing? So I gotta be honest, I'm not terribly impressed with Ruth's Chris. What are baby bakers? It sounds like a baked potato, and you know I won't try that. That's ridiculous. KVH. Kill Van Heusen. Is that the name of it? Okay, so it's just local. All right, maybe that's what we'll do. I did read something the other day that a new, what do they call it? A luxury restaurant had just opened. Maybe that's what it is, because I've never heard of KVH before. All right, what do you got? They come with bacon cream. Yeah, I don't care. It's still a potato. Anti-potato unless it's a French fry. And then it has to be pretty crispy. I got terrible fries today. I picked up lunch for Patrick because he was awesome. On Wednesday, we had a huge technical problem, and he just stayed calm and fixed it all. So I went and bought him lunch today, and I got some fries from Brahms, and they were terrible, absolutely soggy. You know how whatever his name is, Barstool Sports guy, Dave Portnoy, does the flop test with the pizza. These fries, which were crinkle cut, so this is worse, were floppy. They were absolutely disgusting. I actually ended up giving them away, which I never do. I always eat all the food that comes with everything. As you can see, that's getting bad. Ugh. Well, all right, guys. I will see you. I'm doing one of these on Monday from Walton's. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to make yet, but it'll probably be based around one of the newer Walton seasonings. So if there's something you really want to see, the options are rustic French onion, the Mac Attack bratwurst, which is like a mac and cheese bratwurst, pepper au jus jerky, which I've already done, major maple breakfast sausage, holly regular, Champions brat, legacy summer sausage, or jalapeno summer sausage. If there's one of those that you're really interested in and want to see us make, let me know. We are also coming up to where my salami with peppercorns and the Velvet Buck red wine, that should be coming out of the dry curing cabinet in the next 2 weeks or so, 2 weeks. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be phenomenal. I use TSPX. Here's an interesting thing. And we released something on Instagram about it. But I tried to do a fermented snack stick that I would let ferment for a day or two and then move to the smokehouse and finish up thermal processing like that. That's how a lot of the snack sticks nowadays are made. And I don't know what I did wrong. I'm still not exactly sure, but the pH just never dropped. It stayed at 5.6 the entire time, never came down even a little bit. So I did use TSPX, and looking back at it, I should have used something like LHP. And for people who are unfamiliar with the dry curing, these are just basically lactic acid starter kits. The lactic acid is going to drop the pH of the product, of the meat stick, and render it safe to eat through that mechanism. And then we dry it out so we achieve the texture and the flavor profiles that we're looking for. They all do slightly different things though. While they're going the same place, they take different paths to get there. And TSPX is an easy one to use because your temperature range is wide, but it does take a lot longer. So, all right, I will see you guys Monday. What does that say? 1/4 hot dogs? I'm not doing hot dog anything ever again. I'm terrible at eating hot dogs. Pretty good at making them though.